there, my name is Kay Byfield, and this is your Art Speak Studio moment from Art Speak Studio in Dallas, Texas. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about what it takes to mount an exhibition of artworks, and the fact that the exhibition itself becomes an artwork when the pieces are collected and arranged. So the exhibition we're going to discuss is one that I am in charge of, that the common factor of all the artworks in the show are these are all people who have taken my watercolor classes over the years. I sent out a general invitation to all my former students, and some of them stepped forward and said they would love to show their work. This is not juried. There's been no selection process. Anybody who had a painting they wanted to have mounted was included. And this show is being set up in conjunction with another show that's in the gallery here in Goldmark Cultural Center of watercolors by a woman who has documented her journeys around the world doing small plein air watercolors. The students in my exhibition, however, are not doing plein air on location painting. They're all painting from reference materials. In any case, let me show you what it takes to hang a show.
Karen Jacoby and Dude Chow, and they are hanging Karen's show in Goldmark Cultural Center right now. So I'd like to know if you could tell me what you're trying to do here. What is the goal when you pick which pieces to hang and where?
Well, Dew invited me to submit a show because he'd seen some of my watercolors. I lived in Asia for 3 years, and I became very friendly with watercolors. It wasn't a medium that I enjoyed previously, but because watercolor is just such a good travel medium, you know, I picked it up and learned to really love it. And Dew is helping me hang this show, and I'm so thankful to have your expertise.
So how do you decide what goes next to what?
Kind of color groupings. We're kind of talking about stories. Dew had some really good suggestions, like some distance with some more close-ups, and a lot of lively color, picking up a lot of reds over here.
So one thing that I like, I love Karen's work because not only we talk about the color, the human elements, the landscape, and then it's more like this her journeys. For me, it's like many of us have writing diaries. For watercolor, one thing I like about Karen's work is that it's more like her diary. We talk about writing diary, recording diary. The watercolor as part of an artist as can be a medium as a diary.
Right.
So I think I love how we work together so well because Karen and I seem so agree up to this point with I like the work to have rhythms, flow. Some of the things we talk about how things from one piece flow into another piece. So it's more like what we talk about, like writing an essay, we have option to edit everything down at the end.
We've talked to Karen and we've talked to Dew, and they've explained how they're hanging their show. This show is in conjunction with that show, and it's student artwork of people who have less experience with watercolor. And there's a whole range of work here. The challenge is going to be to decide what goes where in terms of this long hallway. Okay, so we're hanging the show, and the goal is to make things hang together. And so we measure. We want the paintings to be at average height in the middle so that they're viewing level. And we want things to kind of flow one into the other.
And in this case, because it's a show with a lot of different participants, my goal is to have different artists next to each other rather than having a whole group of the same artist together. So I'm looking for things that in some way relate in terms of color or in terms of the way the subject matter, or maybe contrast with one another. So we're doing this with the whole hallway. So the exhibition is hung, and in 2 weeks, the students, who most of them are exhibiting their art for the very first time, will be here with their friends and family at the opening to see how it all looks. And I can't wait to talk to them and find out how they feel about seeing their art on the wall, standing on its own after they've worked so hard on it. So in a couple of weeks, we will show you how they felt. In the meantime, I hope that you are considering exhibiting your art if you haven't ever done it before, and I wish you happy painting.